Dabba-do, baby.
Dabba-dabba-do. Let's see how she goes. Astralis to the CT side. We got 3 sets of utility. 3 sets. Not 1, not 2, but 3.
Yeah, sometimes this can be, I mean, obviously a lot of retake utility on both sides. I actually like this as a CT side play. You can give up both sides and retake with the right amount of utility. And it looks like Liquid are going B, which makes the utility even stronger on the CT side.
We got Dupree back by the quad column. Finds the bomb carrot. Nobody's even reacting to him. Grim eventually going to turn his head. Grim on pistols. I think that's something that he brings to this team in terms of an X factor. We see him with 3Ks more often than not, but he gets popped by device. And we are at an even keel. Bomb is planted for Liquid, so the retake is on. They've got still 2 smokes, 1 flash, 1 frag. They're going to start chucking some of that out already. Flashbang comes over here towards the top of the stairs, gets Astralis beyond the green box, twists, catching the headshot, and then it's Magic's to trade one. Right where Dupree was able to open the round, but Zipnix through smoke catches the headshot. Now we've got Twist thinking he's on the defuse, but he hasn't stuck it. Zipnix now coming back into it, has no time to find this despite getting a knife kill. It's money for Astralis, but a pistol for Liquid.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation. So the fact that Zip doesn't feel comfortable spamming the smoke, having such few bullets to work with, and Twist does the right thing to get on it and try to knife in the smoke. That just makes a lot of sense. This is a bad smoke here by Astralis when they tried to come in for the retake, which you think for even something like that, they'd have that lined up. I don't know if they left that crack open on purpose, but that's what got exploited by Team Liquid. So a T-side pistol could be worth its weight in gold for them. We know, again, in their comeback versus Mad Lions, it was all about their CT side. They had a really, really strugglesome T side. But coming in today, this is one where they definitely watched the demo, they talked things over, and they're going to try to be a bit more of a two-way team here with the T side in mind.
Heavy investment into Magisk this round. That armored M4 flashed into the bottom of the ramp, but Elige was on the other side of the smoke, tucked behind him. And suddenly Glaive, well, he's left to hold this without that M4, without his initial teammate. He has Zipnix move over towards short shelf, but this is Liquid taking down what could have been the biggest threat of the round, and they still have a minute to work.
These two teams have been whetstones for each other in the past years and have created some of the best competition that we've seen level of Counter-Strike overall for all other teams to look up to for different reasons. But that's what makes this match so exciting, to see them go head-to-head once again. And it feels like this is something Astralis need right now, to play a team like Liquid, to figure out where they really stand.
Meanwhile, you know Liquid thinking to themselves, like, if Astralis are wounded, you know how many losses they had to take last year? This could be one for the confidence. This could be one for the pride. Team Liquid decide to commit into the B site. Grim finding Glaive, just trying to hold it. A nice and quiet mid-round rotation from Liquid once they got that initial A play. Kind of shut down poor Magisk with the M4. I mean, he was primed to go big, but he turned his back to Elige in the corner. And from there on out, Team Liquid keeping everybody alive with this bomb plant with it. Ump for Zipnix. If they can go down into ramp and get the M4, that would be a little bit of a bonus. Device, bad timing on the knife swap. That's going to cost him, and potentially, the M4 too.
It's an incredibly important match here for Grim. If he's ever been nervous, again, there's just so much history here. A win would be amazing. This is a confidence match for Stewie as an IGL. Again, even though Astralis has always been the hardest competition, he particularly has always understood Astralis above any other team because of his time playing under Fallen. And now will be the proving ground as to like how much there is that they've learned and how comfortable they are in these spots. 2-0 down, and Astralis, they use that knife kill to invest into an early M4 for Magisk.
Yeah.
They weaponize him, send him down the A ramp, but he gets into an untradeable spot and doesn't get a kill. Now in this round, they're just going to have the UMP, MP9, and a couple of pistols behind it to try to get some damage in. They'll probably have to concede the round, but of course, the quota on rounds like these is 3 kills.
Ooh, there's 2 already. Grim actually did slip away with that M4, excuse me. That's why Zipnix is on only the ump. So let's see if they exchange weapons yet again, because they're about to face off here towards short. This is going to be an interesting head-to-head. Grim and Zipnix on short shelf, both CT and T side. You know, it's a big brain player for Grim to go up against. Grim's patience could pay off with this one. He peeks into it. Good thing he had the weapon advantage because he takes a shot to the face down to 7 HP. It's like two biker gangs facing off. Grim, he's the newcomer. Doesn't know why his friends hate these opponents, but you just got to put up and you got to deliver.
Yeah, that is an interesting duel because, of course, you know, Grim, we know him because of his mechanics primarily. A little bit of inexperience, but plenty of mechanics, whereas Xyp9x is kind of the opposite story. So for them to be playing similar spots, going head-to-head on both sides, will be fun to watch. Xyp9x finds his ADR one way or another.
Quick little team ace for the third one. Now we get to see the real test. Device immediately into the op, and we've got guns on Astralis.
So we're going to pay attention to spots here and see how this establishing round goes. This is where your hands get a bit clammy. If you're Liquid, you want to make sure that you start off on the right foot. And of course, again, as the just helps boost their T-sides so dramatically to be able to put Astralis immediately onto another save. They get flushed off of this position. Dupree loves to jump up on the wood wall and fight down in the stairs. Twist is always holding the B push from this position. And right now it is just a standard default, a feel-out round from both sides. No initial A aggression. And this is Elige's job as well, to be a mosquito coming up to the short shelf. Spamming through smokes, figuring out where the CTs are, forcing them to shoot back, getting spam damage in.
So we see two players from Astralis have their initial positions countered out by incendiaries. I do not question Liquid's utility usage when it comes to Vertigo. Device, he's going to pop that flash. Glaive goes running into this. It's on the money, but Grim delivers one, and then his teammates can recover in that moment. But Twist gets shot down by Device, and Naf has to clutch in a 1 versus 3. Astralis throwing themselves into the setup from Team Liquid. And it's worked out well. I think Xyp9x actually steals one of these kills through the smoke, so that kind of counters any type of short pinch that could have come in from Liquid. Certainly would have helped out Naf in this position. Device highly anticipating the walkout, and he finds it. That is a first round for Astralis the moment they have guns.
As easy as that round is at the end, of course, that kill is critical to keep 3 alive. That trade, very, very important. That Device gets to help their economy out a lot, so they'll rebuy behind everything. And Liquid, fortunately for them, have enough money to buy as well. So we'll get back-to-back rifle rounds here to kick things off. Chance again for Liquid to destroy the economy of Astralis.
Early fight. CT's posturing. Gonna put Glaive behind the tarp. Now this is real pressure. Astralis, they try to run through it, and Elige is going to shut down the front runner. So Astralis having to now just kind of back up onto their hold, and well, they've got the utility to do it. Let's see if Liquid can flex that man advantage.
They failed that opening push a couple of times now, Astralis. Magic with Glaive. Glaive has also died on other openings on other parts of the map. So this is a really good sign here for Liquid. Winning that opening duel should mean a lot. Now it comes down to the CTs, where they pick their spots to re-aggress, how they approach A after A ramp is won, and how they do it at a player disadvantage.
Device gets chipped away at, sits on 70. Utility very much dwindling for Astralis at this point. Single smoke left, 1 frag, 2 flashes. Device on the same angle as the round prior. This additional volley of smokes is working well for Liquid. Astralis, they're going to boost the player up beyond. And Naf, his position, his plant gets called out by Xyp9x. Again, back-to-back rounds with kills through smoke. The Device, the wall bang, denies the default plant. That's going to force Liquid back to where they originally wanted to put down this bomb. Elige a little off of it. Just slightly different spot to dodge further spam. That's sick. Astralis, 2 lineups, 2 different bomb plants canceled out, and that is how they get themselves to the even 3v3. But the push, that's what they need next. And Device is gonna deliver with the op. Stewie's looking for his head. All 3 CTs on the ground floor. Twists, he hits 1, but he's down to 11 health, and they're trying to pressure him as that bomb ticks. Dupree hits it, and a second round for Astralis.
It's to the wire here. Down to the 1v1. Nice attempt from Twist. As you can see, the way he was jostling with this angle, he's trying to constantly create a headshot fight so that it has to take the best aim possible to kill him. make it so that it has to be a 100 HP shot to the head. And here are the protocols that are winning the round for Astralis. They're long grenades coming into the retake, but they keep up enough players to make it viable. Device lines up the default plant, and of course, there's only one other plant that most teams are using, and that's covered by Zipic. So, as you mentioned, the smokes that go down can sometimes work against you, especially if the CTs are prepared to use them.
Frag grenade misses the mark, and this time we don't see that early Astralis aggression.
And honestly, I think it's for the best based on what we've seen. So far, all of the aggressive openings from Astralis have been pretty much shut down starting from the second round.
This one's going to be a little faster. They're going to lay down that smoke in the middle of it. Alish taking damage, dishing damage out. Astralis, they weren't quite ready for this one. They didn't have all their pieces in position, but they do go for the double boost back on CT shelf. Look at the health that is left over for Astralis. This time they cannot contest the bomb plant, and look how quickly they walk away. They want the 5-player save. They forfeit a 4th.
No mollies. They used their HEs and missed because Nafly tapped the bomb and drew back a bit. That was a good bait by him. They finally avoid losing players while planting, which is a key component to this map, of course. Sometimes it gets a bit silly with the smoke spams and wall bangs, but ultimately that's the game you have to play. And Liquid, they just didn't do those first steps before. So Liquid pull away with another round. 5v5 situation, so Astralis keep their economy intact, but Liquid don't really have the financial standing to go and try to get those kills. So it's a stalemate here. However, Liquid win the round, which is enormous for them. This is already a really great start, and we saw even that last round come down to a 1v1 as well. They keep just enough here for everybody to rebuy into their nades, and they can try again. And I think for Astralis, of course, it makes sense that they wanted to go back and turn it down a gear in the early round. Let them have a ramp. But what I think they need to do, if they're not going to do that, is try to get damage off on the ramp over the wall. And we've got a stat.
Simple maths. Xyp9x has more knife kills than Glaive has kills so far today. Damn, Elliot, how are you going to do him like that?
That is an important thing to talk about because Glaive has been very off and on, and he's been a very critical part to their CT side as the Astralis have developed recently. Again, citing that there's more CT aggression than ever before, and he is one of those players that comes in to provide it, him and Dupree. And that's what he said about Bubsky, that Bubsky was also like him a little bit too much, and then when they were on the same team, there were too many players taking too many risks at the same time. Okay. And so he was kind of talking about this and how it's a very important part of the CT sides these days. But look at Magisk, he's also getting a little bit frisky. He'll spot some opponents and fall back. He'll hear one, see another, drop an incendiary, and get out of dodge. There's a little bit of information gained as Device takes a peek down the A ramp. Smoke is on the left side, and that opens things up for Device to have line of sight here, and that's the last thing you want to give him.
He's got 2 more players already sitting down ahead of him, and Twist looks like he wants to come join. As opposed to using Xyp9x over on the short shelf, we've actually got him basically side by side with Device. It allows him to go for the peek off of the rifle, thinking that these terrorists are closing that distance, and sure enough, they are. We saw the same grenade last round do barely any damage. This time it takes a quarter off of Stewie and Grim. This is a good position for Astralis. It's not like last round where Liquid were able to catch him by surprise. They've already got 2 CTs inside of the site and Xyp9x over on Tarp. If they do nothing to deal with Xyp9x, then they are going to have a compromised backline, and that does not bode well for them. Magisk off the flash, double headshot for Liquid. They clear out both sides of it, and Device gets flashed, so he forfeits his angle. Those are crucial kills coming in from Liquid because it looked like they were about to get pinched. Instead, they punch, and Glaive goes through off of the hunch, assuming he could find a little control there, catch them with their bomb down, and Twist the double headshot as that post plant comes through. Team Liquid lead 5 rounds to 2 on the T side of map 1.
Now this gets a whole lot scarier when we think about the half 2 that's coming up again, Liquid's CT side. So they are going to be feeling nice. I mean, at this point, They've just taken a shower, toweled off. They're like, man, we've already done it. We've got 5 rounds here on T side. This was the part that we had questions about ourselves. The preparation has paid off, and they are just winning all of these duels. That's the second time that Astralis have found a good opportunity to flash the A ramp right when the opponents have turned the corner, but they failed to actually get the kills. There's a very awkward exchange where they're jiggling on the ramp. They shoot, but then it's Liquid peek right after and actually win first. So I think we're going to try to watch some of this back, and this is Twist.
Damn.
Has also been fantastic, very clean with his rifle, very aware of things, and of course, getting that very nice kind of smoke shot to the boost box. Device is the only player to hold his gun from last round.
The popular vote, Astralis won more rounds than they lost versus Godsent, even though they lost. Which must mean maybe Dust 2, they had a...
Across the best of 3, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember the numbers of rounds or one off the top of my head,
Sometimes-
unfortunately, Elliot.
Sometimes fun facts, sometimes tongue twisters. You never know what you get with Elliot.
Sometimes trivia.
Yeah.
I want to explain myself, right? Here's why I thought it was a bit of a punish pick from Team Liquid, because Zipnix has only just come back into the active roster. So there've been loads of changes made to Vertigo since he was last an active player.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe his protocols wouldn't be on point. But actually, so far, given that he's had so much pressure on the A side, I don't think he's doing as badly as I expected. I think he's doing quite well.
Yeah, it's really, I feel like the question marks right now, Glaive and Magisk for the early rounds, who are struggling to have impact and are normally, at this point, it looks like being used to try to find the openings. You know, you fail a number of these, of course, it's going to catch up to you. And it looks like Astralis are no longer in a position where they can also fall back on just their grenades on the site. They had one good round where they did that, but beyond that, Liquid have been able to find trades despite them falling back. So, well, Magisk, he is on a Blue's Clues mission. He's got the scent. He's pushed through mid. He's clearing out the map control here, and Liquid, well, they're moving up towards A. So we'll see if this is a novel flank or if it's just going to end up getting checked. It comes really down to the trades that come down on the A side, and he'll finally make his way down the stairs.
A little delayed. It's Device gonna hold the line initially. Device is the reason Magisk was able to push through middle. That's where this sniper started the round. And now it's gonna be boosted back on the CT shelf. This would be such a key round for Astralis to kind of rob back, because with just those couple of weapons, it'd be a real boost to the economy, a real kickstart, so to say. Magisk into position, all of Team Liquid, all 4 remaining members up here closer to the bomb site. They realize that they are just leaning and anticipating the CTs to come for their push. Twist sees nothing. Magisk hits him from down beneath. Naf a little delayed on that one, so a man advantage working out for Astralis. Device is off. He's basically giving Overwatch, but that's that 10-second defuse. Device is doing everything. Every kill that tries to peek into the bomb carrier, Device sticks the landing.
And he's the one gun that saved from the last round, and a round they wouldn't have been able to rebuy into it. So off of this force buy, they get their economy back on their feet. Device looking a little bit like Simple these days, huh? You see that haircut? My goodness. He has been great, right? And these shots are all quite easy, but the shots always look easy with Device. That's the problem with him, of course. He's never going to get a lot of flashy kills, even though he has a few. But the reason he's such a consistent performer is because he almost always finds a way to get the kill with the least friction possible.
Off the back of the last round win, we get to see Astralis back to where they started on their A setups. That aggression into the ramp worked well for Glaive, but then we have, of course, Magisk slain. Gets hit by the op shot. I'd love to see the perspective on that one, man. What was the gap? What was the angle?
I don't know. It was off the corner of the sandbags. So I think from down in the ramp, I want to say it was also through a smoke.
Sure, it was.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Time to play the B site. We got a boost on the orange box and Device. This, of course, in case they're trying to boost on the side of the stairs, throw a player up on a different angle, anticipating that this normal line would be watched, but Device, because of the grenades, feels a little intimidated. Debris here to try and help him. Grim gets that kill, and Device is sitting on only 4 points of health. He's got to be cautious of the fire.
Oh, he's off the building!
Down he goes!
Tom Cruise does his own stunts!
Glaive and Zipnix, all that's left to try and recover this one. Talk about mission impossible. These T's already locked in on the backside of the site. That is a blunder.
Why has he done that? Oh my goodness. 2 shots missed, and then he falls off the building with the gun, the golden op that saved them in the last round. Well, I don't think we've named that part of the map yet, so maybe we can call that device.
I think we should call it Mission Impossible.
There we go.
Sure. Oh, damn, just sent sailing as well. You can see the difference, right? Compare and contrast device on that CT shelf in the back of the A site to where he was just playing in this most recent round in the middle of the site. No coverage, no teammates ahead of him, not playing Overwatch, but rather that front line. And just a little too overwhelmed, it seems, by the heat of the moment. This is that angle.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
wow.
Perfect vision. It was just a great shot. Oh, man.
I love how he throws the incendiary like, I can still help.
A funny thing that might actually bring the mood up a little bit, depending on how you look at it. He falls off the building, Astralis falling apart, but it's a funny moment there. It's a 9-gag moment here for Astralis.
Device right back at it. Yeah, don't think that's going to break this man. Although he does miss his second shot. Nafly takes a bit of a risk extending into the trade, but good thing the aim was crisp.
That could actually be a very critical trade, right? He comes back for the repeat, but he leaves mid-open now, so Nafly can kind of camp this bomb, and it forces Astralis to react to it, because they know this op now becomes this very key point of the map.
Yep.
Both teams want to fight for.
100% opens up the A site. Xyp9x is going to have to hold this one alone as Magisk's allocated to middle. Because Astralis, with losing him, they didn't move back off of the B site at all. And now there's a gap. You can see it in the timing. No sets of eyes on mid. Naf still lingering over there. It does draw a player off of the B site, so technically they could always rock this boat back. We do have a nice amount of utility here for Liquid, but Naf, he gives up his back. And then that little moment of uncertainty nearly costs him. Glaive is going to be preoccupied with Nafly. If he sticks into mid, this could really open the B stairs, but Glaive, big brain, knows already that he has to get ahead of the execution. So Magisk's immediately thrown back onto middle watch. Dupree's going to play this close box, and he has Glaive just a couple steps behind him. Team Liquid with a little bit of a stutter step will get that trade frag, but check out the damage. Magisk coming on over, and 3 kills to lock down the B site. Team Liquid, they could have caught him off guard, but Astralis seemed to know what was coming the entire time.
They have this cone fire, just putting all this pressure onto the ramp, and everybody who came into it just got drilled by the M4 bullets. It wasn't even like a hot showing of mechanical skill, just these spray downs right to the center of their bodies as they attempted to trade. And Astralis, with that round, will put Liquid on a save. A very strange series of events that we've just seen in these past couple of rounds, and somehow it's Astralis to come out on top of it. And Device continues to have impact. Another shot here on Grim.
Desert Eagle's taking a bit of a tumble. Maybe Elige gets a Hail Mary, cracks open this A site. But there is always, of course, that threat of Device towards the short side of things. Stewie. Ooh, Stewie. Nice Desert Eagle headshot. Of course, a second player from Astralis immediately going to go ahead and take up that position. It's Magisk.
You didn't see that. Oh, Elige.
Now things get interesting.
He'll slink out.
Magisk, he's going to get hit from 2 directions, throwing himself into another bomb site hold. 3 kills back-to-back for Magisk.
Yeah, he's bringing it up a little bit. And it feels like the confidence is way off for Astralis. So some of the opening kills, Magisk in the early rounds, Dupree, Glaive, they all look a little bit off right now, which is always surprising, but it feels like they're starting to get warmed up again. But it doesn't mean that Liquid can't win. Some of their early rounds were looking very good. Twist looks on form at the moment, so I'm expecting some hot entries and also some better holds at the same time. However, Device drops a shot into the lower ramp. Twist, he'll get that info on where Device is at the moment. Don't know if this means that Liquid will push faster up a ramp, but look how much progress they've already made.
Glaive slipping into the short side. Team Liquid going to make sure they clear out the sandbags, but that hasn't been occupied, really. It's Astralis with these mid-moment flashbangs and trying to push into the setups.
The hard part about this, right, is trying to convince your opponents to use their utility, because Astralis want to hold on to it no matter what, but you don't want to get in the site and plant without them throwing out some grenades.
Glaive's on the front side of the smokes, and he delivers the first one. Substantial damage into Stewie makes this a bit of an awkward spot for Liquid. It seems like Astralis are going to respect this a bit. Bomb plant's not denied. However, you talked about getting their utility.
Here's where you talk. Utility, health, and player advantage. This is all that matters right now.
Half barely alive. Falls off on 36 HP. We've seen them lose a post plant in this similar position because of Device, but now he's dropping a couple of shots. Magisk's already inside of the site. He's just going to go ahead and stick this defuse. Liquid take him off of it. Elige with the double kill into Device as well. Two-man advantage turned into the double. Look at this. Elige providing a performance in the post plant, and Dupree can't get himself more than one. Liquid gonna take another round win off of this A site.
Well done. They go for the Hail Mary stick, and they even survive the bomb explosion at the end, which could have made a difference. One player low there. This is the big one, I think, because Elige was the player who crossed over to Sandbags, and Device dropped a shot on him. Sometimes it does come down to one kill, and that could have been a moment where it does. If no one crosses Sandbags, no one crosses after that, and we don't see a future where Elige gets 2 kills. But what this means is, of course, Liquid back into this after a couple of strange rounds, losing to an eco. They win another rifle. So the confidence, it's got to be teaming for Liquid at the moment. They are looking very good.
Flash around the corner. Stewie catches one.
There's a boost here. It has been forgone.
Wallbang damage on point. Magisk gets moved over. Glaive's going to stand a little bit further back because he has the smoke and the flash, but yeah, that boost, not really going to work out for Astralis. Liquid on high alert. They find Glaive as well, trying to push into the short shelf. Magisk will tippity tap the head of Stewie 2K. And then, well, Dupree falls finally. It's an 8th round for Team Liquid on this T side. Rewards for winning a rifle round and pushing Astralis into the economic dumps, but it's not over just yet. A pause for Astralis.
Jobsite has suffered one injury. Vertigo is a condition that makes you feel dizzy and sick and is often caused by height. Right, Device? I would love to, at the end of the year, just see a montage of the players who have players we have lost to Vertigo this year. Because there's quite a few. There's definitely one moment where I've seen someone hit the bottom. And it took them about 30 seconds.
You get like a Guess Who's game, and then we just knock them down one after another. Black out their pictures. Rest in pepperonis.
This used to be the 3rd meal in a 3-course meal, Vertigo, in these vetoes. Always, it was coming in last. So this is kind of an interesting one. I guess the few times they did play it, Liquid tried to pick into it. Oh, Device goes for that another opening. Twist will immediately shut him off. And again, that's information on the A ramp. But look who's here this time around. However, all the while, Liquid are actually turning their attention to mid, so something a little different.
Nice, Glaive. Good position. Only able to get the one. It's Twist and Naf to combine on the B site.
Key kills for Twist.
That missed grenade from Zipnix actually could have helped out. Would have given Glaive a little bit less health to have to shave off of Naf, who is on 56.
Damn, we see the game plan develop a little bit more. Now, it is a 2v3, but look at this flank. I mean, it's just, yeah, Nafly, he peels back off his position only to re-aggress upon it and lock down the rotation. And now, of course, Zipek has to be concerned about that fact, but Nafly goes down, 1-on-2 spot, no nades to work with. Surely this is over.
And this guy does know how to clutch. No kit, though. No kit on the play, so just going to get these Ts to scramble, wanting them to go down with him, because this is inevitably a 9th round for Team Liquid. And they're shooting for the double digits in the first half of Vertigo.
Yeah. Tim hasn't played with Stu in a long time.
It's been a bit.
Golden years. There is development here. We go for the early, Twist is coming through on B, and of course, it's just conditioning. He's showing his face every round so that, Astralis don't know that they're doing anything new. But this time, of course, Liquid are going for the mid control, and they bust out mid so quickly. It's like a totally new development. That's what you like to see, a T-side evolving in that way, and Liquid continuing to win rounds based on these developments. Of course, it's easier to win rounds when you've already won rounds, if that makes sense, because you have the advantage of conditioning, and Liquid are pressing that advantage right now.
Zipnix has a flashbang prime for Glaive. Oh, he eats a frag grenade, though. Pops on his head. A shrapnel haircut. Glaive's going to go extending around. Ooh, what? That frag grenade. That hurt. Magisk, he's going to hear his teammate.
It was a teammate, huh?
Enemies run away. So at least Astralis know what's going on, but the question is, what can they really do about it? Deagle from Magisk cuts down one player, but he doesn't anticipate Naf in the corner. Twists give good cover to the bomb plant, and it all lines up. Team Liquid doubling the round count of Astralis on this T side. Ladies and gentlemen, dare I say it, we've got ourselves a game.
You fist me. Now I fist you. Oh, such an easy win.
For fans of fast cars, Twitch, or funny faces. For fans of love and fans of light, the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. All you want to do all you love.
Liquid, but what we haven't seen as much as we did in that first half is a man like Twist.
Man like Twist, he was his HSP. I want to know what it is because it feel like it was damn near 100% with 13 kills he got. He was looking laser sharp, and not only that, he wasn't just being like a stylish aimer. He was there in all the critical spots to get trades. But we're already up into the pistol. There's pressure on both sides, but Grim is going to spot the majority down on the ramp. The rotations are not quite here, so maybe he doesn't have that info quite yet. The CTs will start to come over. But it seems like they're more intent on holding B early than A.
Smoke grenade goes out. Block the left side of the site. Glaive just peppering it with the Glock. Ah, the old 5-man retake. Oh! Alish thinking he could just slip some shots through smoke. Zipnix finally plants his bomb, looks up like, just flicks him off his shoulder like a bug. And now we have a tough job for Liquid. Already a man disadvantage, and check out this What? Oh!
He said, I want to come back and play.
Zipnix just somehow slips the bullet into him. And look, they're trying to find out where Zipnix has got off to. They're wondering, like, did that really just happen? And I guarantee you it did. Grim, he'll take 2 kills in the pistol, but Zipnix, this is just heavenly.
Yeah, he's looking good. He was looking good. Liquid are looking tasty. That was a round where he pulled off this miraculous opening kill after putting the bomb down, and then flanking in the same round through their smoke after pushing through and killing Stewie. That's all about Zipix, really. That's what it comes down to. And of course, nature of the beast on Vertigo. These pushes in and out of the smoke, the flux in the post-plant, after-plant situations, trying to find those kills and avoid them all the same. So, about for Liquid here on the CT side. We know they can play it. They're damn good on it. This is very scary for Astralis, but at the same time, for this series to really go on, we want Liquid to take this map. This would mean, you know, if we're looking at Inferno next map, surely we're going to favor Astralis, but look at this. Into the second round, buy for Astralis. They've invested in a couple of SMGs, being prudent here towards their economy, but they've already lost a player in exchange for some damage here on a Legion Nafly.
Yeah, the grenade called out the boost perfectly.
Do they want to run into Twist right now? This guy.
5-7. That headshot accuracy, good for the first bit of damage. He doesn't get himself more than one, but it does slow them off. Dewey with the CC. The spray somehow connects into Dupree. Zipnix able to get the second. Grim on a 2K already. This force buy from Team Liquid on the cusp of a round win. But Magisk, he's picked that bomb back up, turns his attention into Nafly, and absolutely clutches.
Damn, dude. That's why I wanted to compare Grim and Magisk. Like, the way that they aim, it's just so perfect. Across that horizontal plane, they have absolute precision. That is a beautiful 1v2, 45 degrees, and it's an easy readjustment. Grim goes down, headshot there, and that keeps Astralis alive. Critical round here to come back on the T side again. It's going to be a meal for them to get through this Liquid defense. These guys have shown how damn good they are on it.
Quick slap in the face, though, Astralis. That should wake them up. Team Liquid not slowing down despite the lesser weapons of the last one. Stewie's going to walk in the middle with the USP. He's dead. This is Astralis with an 8th. As long as they play their cards right. This Team Liquid don't even have a hand.
At the moment, Twist, he's just got the golden gun. No matter what it is, he's able to find a kill or two. So they should be avoiding him like the plague. Nafly also recently seems like one of the only good things and consistent features about Team Liquid. Magic will spot one and find the man who boosted him as well. He said, "What rank you want to go to? Welcome to invite."
Ooh, just one for the added bonus. Rule number 7, double tap. Buy back in. Naf on the op. Now we saw Device's AWP serving as a very stellar backline for Astralis' defense. See if Liquid can offer us something similar. We're going to get the Danes heading over to the A site early, as we expect, right? First, it's the sizing up process. Compare and contrast. And Elige, well, he finds tons of damage spamming that smoke. Enough so that Astralis back up.
You'd love to get these slow, tenuous defaults between these two teams, especially on the A ramp, because again, it's just protocols, protocols, protocols all the way through. When and where they use your utility, when they use their boost, where the spams come back from the Ts. This is where it gets the most interesting, and so far we've got the edge to Team Liquid. We had Elige put shots down range into the smoke on the corner as a player was trying to come up in the short health shelf. That was some good damage. Device, of course, not hopping here. And they'll find another boost. So good timing here for Liquid. Things are looking pretty solid. Magisk is making sure that nobody gets tricky, pushing at mid. And now Astralis have turned their attention to B. This is always a big risk, okay? Because if Liquid haven't used a lot of utility, you know they're going to feel very comfortable with the idea of retaking the site. Oh, but Twist, he gets mollied back and pushed in by Dupree. They weren't expecting this kind of pressure.
Dupree's then going to back up a bit, and that leaves Zipnix like a landmine. Damn, Team Liquid not ready. They're going to go ahead and walk away with the save. We saw this from Astralis in an early gun round in the first half.
See, listen, this is a round. If they had the 5v5 retake, they could talk about it. If they had a few more grenades, you know they would go for it. And this is an early round won by Liquid, but quickly a quick decision from Astralis caught Liquid off guard. They thought fully that their intention was going to be towards the A site, at least at that point of time in the round. But they had gotten in some information that told them otherwise. I guess they just, again, didn't expect the exact tempo from Astralis to pick that quickly.
They've got to absolutely hang on to all these guns. Astralis coming knocking. Grim will best Magisk, though, just to close this.
They can.
Astralis closing the gap. One round the difference.
Yeah, looking for the 5-0 start, right? Like, this is the... This is such a clean round. Look at how much money is still left in the hands after one rebuy for Astralis. Just pure opulence right now for the T side. And of course, after how strong that was, Liquid are going to be a little bit shaken up. Nafly trying to take that same position as Device to catch the B lurk, but a flash comes down. Smart stuff. Elige, he finds the exact same spot. Spam onto the exact same player, but this time it results in a full-on death.
And Astralis walk away. He eats a grenade in the end, so Elige will be sitting on 61. But it's Team Liquid comfortably sitting on that A site. Now, immediately, Astralis going to do the exact same thing. Tuck tail, turn to the B site. And yet again, they're kind of doing this before Team Liquid have much of a hold in position. Twist, he puts that smoke down on the ramp itself, but he's burned out of his initial spot. A missed jump. A missed jump. Yeah, Dupree, he just slipped back down the staircase. That's going to mess around with the timing slightly. But still, dude, this utility from Astralis is so good at getting the players off of the bomb site, putting them into the post plant, and even giving a little bit of wiggle room for Glaive to walk this forward. But he loses half of his health to a single frag. And now we're going to see that grenade retake attempt. Grim just tucks his head. You can see Glaive with a little bit of frustration. Dupree backing up and Magis delivering a couple of kills. Now it's Dupree's chance at more than just the first, but Zipnik's in the clutch. Nafly pounding a shot through the wood. A warning shot, we'd say. And Naf comes back for second servings. Team Liquid don't have time.
The kit was right there. He doesn't grab it, and he'll have to turn tail and leave. The trade's coming down. They barrel forward, having to go through every single one of Astralis' player like it's a training course. Everybody's posted up in a different position. They win each of their duels, but they take some losses in the process. Magix and Zipix both get 2. Those are the key ones. Magix is on the part of the site that should be the most pre-fireable. He's sitting on default, but he's still multi-frags. He's been very sharp. 21 kills so far this game, and that is a rough situation because Liquid, they had a man advantage. They had tons of utility, and we saw the protocols. Grim was even mollying back into their B stairs before the execute started. Dupree will take damage early over on the B site, but again, we look at the good start from Elige. We know if you're going to win this map, it has to start with B retakes. And right now, Astralis are finding success on the trickier site.
Gonna have to see if Twist continues to back up.
He's been getting shut down a little bit more. He's being made uncomfortable.
That he is. Dupree slips right into the corner of the stairs. Flash into the face of Twist. He lays down the smoke. Could have technically ejected. Now he has to. Stewie steals a kill from beyond Dupree. But look at this, Astralis, they're going to back off and head back over towards A, hoping that the conditioning of the last couple of rounds would leave Team Liquid with a gap on the opposite side of the map. Zipnix, he's going to find his spot in middle, just serve as an anchor here that Astralis can rotate around, and this is a big test for Grim, the newcomer of Liquid. He has slipped into Henny. He's just going to hold behind the column, and we're going to watch Astralis walk up. But Dupree's already keeping his vision this direction. Grim just goes ahead and takes the shot. You can't blame him. He wants one with him. He confirms that there's more presence there. But now my eyes fall back on Zipnix. They have to. This late round mid moment that is perfect to get Stewie off of the B site and give Astralis just enough time to go sprinting back over. Zipnix moves from the elevator into construction, and his team, like a swivel, swings back.
Bomb has been planted.
God, the number of things that have happened already this round, and it's not even over. Elige and Twist, they'll come in. 2-on-2 situation. Elige just takes a smidgen of damage, but Zipix in a key position. He won't get cleared. Player drops off in front of him. Elige goes down. He'll turn it to a straight transfer, and Zipix, he is definitely back.
100% on form. 3 kills from him. And I'm not just talking aim. I am talking timing. Just milks that one. Sat back in mid, waiting patiently. This first kill, where that immediately draws everybody from Astralis over.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating. But here's a round where, okay, Astralis' game plan right now. They deal with Twist, right? It becomes as hard as possible. Twist gets away in a couple of spots. He stands behind default. But then he throws the smoke down to the left. Glaive mollies behind it. Dupree's holding the other side, and Glaive spams the smoke. There's no way out of the round after he drops that smoke. And when they're getting that kill on Twist to start the round, the whole round becomes a whole lot easier. So right now, we're seeing Twist kind of fall off in the second half, but it's specifically so that Astralis have an easier way into the rest of the round. They're specifically trying to target him, knowing he's alone on B.
He's getting bullied, battered, and bruised. Magisk, a master. 21-6 for the moment. Let's watch Team Liquid get aggressive. They've got little to lose in this one, and they're already making gains. Device scoped in. Oh, there's a player pinned behind the box. It's Naf, cleared out by Dupree. But at what cost? There's no weapons picked back up from Liquid. All they've done here is softened Astralis, but Twist comes in with a crucial kill, and Elige gets called out by Device on the patience. Now Twist, full health, armored AK. He is actually in a better position than both of his enemies. And they're going to try and contend for this A site. They just unload the utility. Use that fire. Make sure he can't come in. But now he's going to burn Dupree out of this position. The flash is fantastic. It's exactly what saves Dupree. What lets him go back from short and join Device at a further distance. If Twist taps bomb, they're going to start shooting through this. He should get the information he needs. There's the kill versus Dupree, but the question remains, where has Device gotten off to? And there's not a follow-up smoke here for Twist, so he absolutely needs the kill. And Tom Cruise, keeping it cool, sat back behind the sandbags, has Twist's walk away. An excellent attempt from Team Liquid.
God damn, it looks like Twist could have actually defused the bomb fully from that position on his second tap, but Device's composure was too much. He read the situation perfectly. Another clutch loss here for Team Liquid, and it comes close. And it's off of a really rough buy, but Astralis won a buy similar to that, which helped them leapfrog their score into the first half, excuse me. Man, this is okay. Tack timeout called for Liquid as they talk about things. As we get into the mid to late round, Astralis are being very tricky. It's hard to read what site they're trying to go to, and it feels like right now they're getting off too many punish kills. I think
Missed map in November. Oh, there
okay,
I am.
Frankie's
No, I
back,
am on. It's all right. Don't worry. The moment has passed. Basically, Glaive, it is ratings about average, it seems.
Okay.
That's what I surmised from that, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay. Yeah. Just average. Is that enough? That is the question.
Oh, luckily, Magisk is performing above and beyond.
Yeah, fair play. That is a good point. That is a good point. So I wonder if, you know, in Liquid's mind, it's like they have so many things set up to deal with the A stuff that was going to work out well. But right now, looks like alternate approaches here as Astralis take down Naf early. It's a shot missed and then an instant punish once again. The headshot spam to slow him down and then the spam to follow to kill him. Glaive will take over middle control. Elige, is he going to clear this position? No. He might be able to get a kill before it, though. That's a good point. Here, I just credit myself for a good point. Glaive will also trade back. And that's a good kill, I meant to say. And now it's a 2v3 as Twist will walk over into the B site. Magisk will find two. Is he going to find a third? No, Twist will clear him up. And he's been good in the clutch, good when he stays alive, good with space. But now he's got the biggest task ahead.
He's got Glaive just next to him. Twist silently slipping into it. Oh, but he drops the shot. However, he knows he's still between them. He can challenge. He decides to go back. Look at the hesitation here from Glaive. Doesn't know where to run to. Twist closing the distance, gets ahead of the flashbang, but Glaive gets ahead of the peak. And Device, well, he needs to back up as that bomb is undoubtedly going to be planted. Incendiary's going to land on the feet of Glaive, but because of the flashbangs from Twist, because he's worried about the cover fire, ooh, he finds him. Device thinking he could get cheeky, but it's Twist looking for the fourth frag in this round, looking to give Team Liquid their first CT victory. Glaive playing alongside of the ramp. And now it's that creeping crawl. He misses a follow-up chance. Twist taps bomb yet again, and Glaive, he's not going to come into it. He waits, and Twist takes his head. Team Liquid on the board for the first time in this second half. It's been a dry spell, but the winds of change breeze by.
So marvelously played. You love that Twist goes for the high ground in the 1v1 on top of default, just to fully get that bait out. Imagine how frustrated it'd be if he lost another 1v1 in the exact same plant position with another T toying with him.
Great point.
And like he finally, he could be deflated at that point because again, he's been an ultra superstar. But that is why Astralis have just been focusing on him, trying to tilt him, punish him over and over again. It makes it harder for everyone else, but look, he lights up the server with some initial impact. That's a first kill on Dupree, and Stewie will complement it with a kill of his own. A 5v3, surely this is when Liquid get their first CT round.
Start stringing them together. Tied at 12.
Was it an 11? It was a 10-5 half?
10-5 half.
10-5,
Liquid,
okay.
Yeah, and Stewie, Twist just defused.
Right.
His second attempt in that clutch on the A site. Grenade goes by Stewie 2K. You saw him trying to squeeze up next to that box because he actually goes from 12 health down to 2. Stu, lucky to be alive. But in what world could Astralis find their way back into this? What has to happen for Astralis to get an opening? Team Liquid have no reason to make an initiative.
It's a really good question. Now, I think, like, typically, you would think about going back towards mid in a situation like this, but 40 seconds left. They're just recollecting the bomb, and Device is well posted here on the A ramp. The problem is no one's going to make a mistake, so they could follow up behind it. Device and Magisk will have to pull out some utility to assist with this, but at 25 seconds, they've got to make a decision, and it feels like they might just try to creep in. Device will set up his smoke here, and they'll go for a more standard post plant. It's not an ideal situation. Liquid should feel very comfortable.
Ooh, Nav. Yep, comfortable enough to catch a kill before the smoke completely pops. And Zip next, well, next to the box is going to go for the plant. Device gives cover. Just enough health for Zipnix, but now he's burnt. Let's see it, Device. He would need the ace. And seeing as how I am watching him walk down ramp, I think he just wants to get away. This is it. A 12th round for Team Liquid. They're going to find 2 CT rounds back-to-back and tie this game at 12.
Okay. Now we're in business. Off of the clutch from Twist. Again, when he's staying alive, he's having such incredible impact. Critical kills at every turn. And now that Astralis have started to stray away from dueling him early, or they're starting to lose their duels early, which might be an important thing, they also are starting to lose simultaneously. So will Liquid tap into this and try to protect Liege at all costs, or are they going to just have him not take early fights, or do they want to just let him run it because he's got a bone to pick? That's the question.
The Magician, that was Twist's 9th 1 versus 2 against Astralis, and his first against them on Vertigo.
Could have been 2. Could have had 2 clutches against them on Vertigo already this game. Those back-to-back moments.
Obviously not an easy team to win clutches against, but you know, when it matters the most, he grabs it. And look at the money, actually. This is potentially Liquid just taking a round. Device, how much impact can he have with an AWP? I mean, I don't want to underestimate him, but at the same time, here on the T side, with just some pistoling pawns working the map, it's not going to be easy to set him up.
See if the king can reign supreme. Oh, Grim.
Chance.
Yeah.
But Grim, like an apparition, fades back.
Dodges that one op shot.
Off the cover of the smoke, and Magisk will try to make progress off of Device's strong lines of sight. Still wide open, and Liege, he's just been trying to protect this. An interesting spot for him that he feels like he's very obsessed with this one corner, and it's resulted in some duels. Here it's just some information, but it comes at a cost.
Grim's gonna lay down the incendiary. Frag grenade could be on the money. Nope. Negligible. Stewie's gonna take that front line from Liege, but we've already got the T's pretty close on this bomb site. Half health gone for a couple of them. The bomb gets thrown open. That's a big moment. Grim, he turns his attention away. Zipnix able to slip in with the MAC-10, and he's gonna prioritize plant. They can't find the spam damage, and he's just gonna be able to retreat back around towards the short shelf. There's an M4 now over on Magisk because Grim dies. Remember, Liege already low, and a single smoke for what remains of Team Liquid. They've got a couple flashbangs, but the smoke goes out first and foremost. Device hitting his second shot. As that one plumes, this would be the second round for Astralis where one op makes the difference, unless Twist can take his second clutch, but Device has something to say about it. 3 kills on the play, 13 rounds for Astralis.
He pops up like Mario out of a pipe to get that last one, and that is just the cherry on top. An incredible round for Device. I absolutely doubted that he'd be able to have the impact here, but look at the CTs so far back. This is a shooting range for a Device, and here he is here to train. That is crazy that they're able to pull this back. Actually shocked at the moment. You know, Device doesn't have as many, honestly, Magisk ADR is way higher than Device, but at this moment I feel like Device has had some extremely critical rounds with his op in both halves. Even when he was only on 12, now he's damn near acing to win rounds.
The biggest counterpart, of course, is Twists. But in terms of clutches, Zipnix has his number. And that one's not a clutch, but another single op buy that turns into a round win.
Yeah, Twist says, if this damn creature didn't come back, I'd be the clutch god. We are wrapping up now. Round 26, 13-12, buy versus buy. And Naf, is he going to be the focal point? The counter may be opping himself to make up for the fact that there are concessions on some of these guns for the CT side. Well, Astralis, they might make this difficult, putting some pressure here. They're going to spot a sandbags play, and Liege tries to give out a free haircut, but nobody wants one. They'll start to peel back off the A ramp. And it's a total stalemate, man. I really do appreciate here that Astralis, they've done so much across all parts of the map right now that Liquid are pretty uncomfortable at pushing things. They've gone back into a mode of just trying to re-aggress on the A ramp when possible. And Liege, he actually baited him. They baited him into coming forward, and he has to just run because they are so out of utility. It is Twist with the only smoke on the round, and of course, he's the player on the other side of the map.
And contrast that to Astralis. They're just going to have to slip 2 players onto short. That's what Liquid are banking on here. But Glaive, he gets shut down by the MP9 of Grim. Elige incredibly low. Grim with a second, a third. Just the SMG from Grim, and he may have done it all. Everything they needed. Grim is inside of the site. His first matchup versus Astralis, as they start to fizzle out, he puts his foot down. And Device, well, let's see what he's made of. 10 seconds, bomb ahead of him. If he pops Stewie right here, that would be all he needs to at least perhaps get plant, but it takes too much time. Stewie burns the clock, and Grim burns Astralis. We are all tied up again.
And an individual play when they needed it the most with the worst gun on the round on the CT side. Grim, he holds the line here. This is unreal with an MP9 of all guns. He pushes through. Oh my goodness, he actually turns that into basically a spray transfer with a huge risk coming through the smoke. That is the kind of liberty you need him to take, but not something you can teach him to. That's the maturity. That's the maturity that makes sense when we look at Grim as a new player, but then also contrast that with his outstanding stats so far here in Europe. 20 kills in the game, and keeping Liquid in it as well.
Landed though. The key piece of the last round is wounded early.
Liquid always will have one thing, and that's the individuals to fall back on. If there's one thing they've gained in their latest roster change, it is a firepower upgrade. And on the CT side, that's when these different pieces can shine. Strategically right now, it feels like Astralis are having their way with Liquid. Liquid are scared to push. They're losing most of their rounds here in the second half.
That boost though, man, that could actually call out what Astralis are about to do. They're waiting for this smoke to fade so they can walk up. And this isn't the same boost that we've seen called out by Wallbangs. This could be the perfect moment. Look how many players are walking up. What sort of trigger discipline does he play? But he's not even given the chance. The Incendiary denies what could have been a round-winning moment. Good thing for Team Liquid, they still have other things to fall back on. We've got Stewie down in the depths of the B site, trying to find a little bit of timing. However, the flashbangs, despite the best efforts of Liquid to try and hold on to the front side of this site, the utility from Astralis is too intimidating. They give it up. And Dupree, he's going to try to find that plant on the corner of the site. It's being covered. A 5v5 post plant, with a 14th round on the line for both of these teams. Stewie still sitting down here. Dupree's walking back, maybe coming to clear it. This could be a chance for Stewie, but he needs to make sure he doesn't give up the kill. Now that he has, this is perfect for Astralis. So good. 4 frags across the kill feed in an instant. And Elige has only 36 health to contest this. Astralis intimidating Liquid with utility and liquidating Liquid with their talents.
Incredibly played. I mean, this is just the straight-on hold. There's no utility in this moment for Liquid, so instead they just try to replace their utility with pure bodies, moving through the site as a pack and getting mowed down all the same. It comes a lot down, what looks like it's supposed to come a lot down to Stewie and Dupree on the flank, but Dupree holds the better angle. This is Liquid having to save. And again, it's only map 1, but it's such an important map here for Liquid to win. Inferno, I mean, you'd assume Liquid can't do it. We'll see if that's going to be the case, but their hearts are set on winning this one first. This would take the edge off in a big way. They're not necessarily out of it. 2 rounds, they'd have to bring it back if they lost this. But Astralis, you can already see the smirk a little bit. It was such a rough start, but since we've gotten onto the T side, it's just been majority them. That's all we've talked about. Their strategies, their comeuppance in terms of individual performances. Even though Glaive is still struggling a little bit, everybody else is making up for it. Now Grim, yeah, he's in a
big one.
Pretty interesting position. He'll stay alive as well. Can't grab the gun, excuse me, and Nafly also gets a kill. He's up at mid. Did he upgrade as well, or is he still on the pistol? It's
both
3
pistols.
on 4, but there's everybody here on the A site.
This would be such a territory grab from Liquid, but Glaive looks like he's going to solve the issue. What worked out well at the hands of the P250 starts to fizzle out. Nafly does now have an AK, but Stewie just the UST, and he gets taken down by Glaive, who saved the day with a 4K versus these pesky pistols. Team Liquid, they created a chance out of thin air, and they had their chances after that first half. But now, next round, the 2 map points left here on Vertigo are going to spell the difference between what could have been an incredibly good start to an incredibly good series with a second map question mark that just leaves us thinking Astralis may have solved it.
Definitely. Now this will come down to what, Liquid want to try. If they want to try to go standard again, are they going to rely on some heroic play by just one of their players? Or are they going to try to take the round into their own hands and take a risk early on? This is going to be a true test for them. I think they can feel the magnitude of the situation at the moment. Being able to show that they can win Vertigo, being able to win their first map in a year versus Astralis, and to do it with a new lineup. I mean, there's so much pride on the line here, on top of just completely changing the face of the best of 3 in terms of their odds. So what will they do? What's the call going to be? Stewie, he's picked up the op this time around. And it looks like the B ramp is of interest. He's going to hold on to this angle. There's no push just yet. Does he go farther down is the question. And does anything interesting happen from Astralis? They are waiting for this. The 2-op adjustment as well.
Stewie's dodging flashbangs, waiting for this peak, but obviously his head is on a platter. If Dupree's got the better of the aim, they cross off the flash. Stewie, he's going to back up. Again, we have another moment where if Astralis come into this B site, there is no real forward position for Liquid. And we have seen how the utility flusters them, how it counters out their initial spots and pushes them into the backline. And from that backline, we see Astralis win round after round. Dupree, he's going to serve as an anchor as Stewie gets all the closer.
Oh my God, he didn't really, he thinks he cleared it out, and
So
he'll walk back, he'll check both sides, but it's a matter of timing. This doesn't mean that he can forfeit the site at all, but they're maybe assuming now it's going to be the A site, yeah.
Dupree, he has made this call. He knows that Team Liquid think this is clear, not the case. Stewie has to deliver, and he gets so completely countered out by utility. Fire at his feet, down to 50, flash in his face, he hits the ground. And Astralis, they may have not hit the ground running, but they have absolutely clawed this back after a 5-10 first half. Let's see if they can close in the 4 versus 4. We've got Liquid starting to crank the heat, but Magis, well, he's down now too. It's Grim to deliver another headshot. Device lands the op. He has 15 health, not ideal. 3 CTs coming into him, closing the distance. Naf combat opping, but Device to the Deagle. Dupree, he tries to span bomb, but Liquid, they steal it. Twist steals the defuse, and we go the distance. Round 30 needed.
That's all they needed to stick that bomb and hope the spam doesn't come in. It could have been an absolute travesty for Team Liquid, having such a successful couple of entry kills on that retake. Astralis, they come through with the simple protocols, literally 2 flashes in that round to get the stairs control outside of B main to push Stewie back. And then once they're in there, get Stewie the false positive after he tries to clear out information and doesn't find Dupree, and then Dupree using that information against him without shooting back. That's where you'd think it'd get very scary. But the 5v5 retake and a B retake, these are a couple of things Liquid have not been able to do so far this game.
We've gone 6 rounds back and forth, no consecutive round wins.
Nafly and Stewie, they only have MP9s once again.
And Grim's gonna get tested. In a 4 versus 5. his first series versus Astralis. He takes down a single player, but they get him right back, and Elige gets clapped by Zipnix. That 90-degree flick shot into his head. Astralis absolutely tested. And this one's not over just yet, but it's going to take something special. And Stewie, he's walking right into Zipnix, who already has 2 kills on the round. Why not make it a third? Twists, the star for Liquid. Alongside Grim, the star we know can shine so damn bright. At least cuts one player out of the situation. He's got 10 bullets in the magazine. That's going to slow him down. He has to have the reload. Bomb already a quarter of the way gone. He's going to throw down his smoke first. Still has not reloaded. Desperation begins to sink in. If he tries to stick this defuse, it's not going to work out. He emerges and he dies. Zipnix, the absolute difference maker at the end of this 30th round. 4 kills to secure map 1 for Astralis. I mean, damn. 7 rounds in a row to start that T-side from Astralis.
And every kill as impressive as the last positionally. Who better to close to make this storyline as interesting as possible than Zipnix?
Well, should we talk about the story after the break?
Sure.
Why not? Stick with us.
Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
The Astralis brains took a little while to warm up, but when they did, they knocked Liquid's Brawn off the server and sometimes off the side of the map, because that was a Vertigo for the ages. And I've just got to ask about Astralis first, because that second half of them was a masterclass on this.
It definitely was, yeah. Like, it just, even for me watching this game, it was so hard to read for what Liquid could do a little bit better, because the conditioning was so good from a